Good morning, everyone. It's our Bible video. Don't, I had to look at him, didn't I? And he has to be in the video. Don't you? 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 So, I'm going to read the third part of the family pledge, which I kind of have some beef with. But, in a way, I also understand right. So, this is from the family pledge. Number 3, our family pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. Perfect, right? Yeah. Perfect what? The 4 great realms of heart. Yeah. Well, what are the 4 great realms of heart? Got to read the divine principle. Takes too long to explain it here in a way. But the way I understand the 4 great realms of heart is the relationship between God, man to God, woman to God, man to woman, woman to man, right? It's like a diagram if you think about it. God on top, man, woman, and then children. And then the children's relationship to God, the relationship to dad, the relationship to mom, and vice versa, right? Yes? Okay. That's what I understand, to perfect that relationship, all that unity that should happen, and always connected to God. Then the other one we have the 3 great kingships. I have a hard time with the word king or queen or emperor or empress, any that kind of stuff. And so I understand this is God, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. That's for me. That's call them the kingships. We call them the Trinity. Why not just call it the Trinity? All right. Well, there you go. Now, it could mean something else to people. It could mean the succession from one, father and mother in a family, then to the son, the next one down. Well, what if there's more than one son? What if there are daughters? Well, the daughters become a part of a family kingship, and their husband's family. That makes sense to me. But I think it's for every family. There is this, I guess, hierarchy going on. Yeah, okay, that sounds not good, but it's what it is. Yeah, surely mom and dad will always have more foundation and substance than a child would. Right? And as it says, perfected them, which means most likely, in a lot of families, that's not running so good. And the realm of the royal family. Perfect the realm of the royal family. Yeah. Well, since we're in the beginning of learning about the completed Testament age, there is restoration going on everywhere. And I think this definitely tells me, okay, yeah, people can see this differently. But I had to come to terms with that number 3. And I'm not a person who just goes ahead and says, oh, okay, blindly believes. Jesus said, let the blind lead the blind. Oh, okay, that's going to work out well. Actually, works out very well for many people out there who can't see. Okay? It's amazing to me on how they manage to walk through life without being able to see. Amazes me. Okay? People are afraid of the dark, right? Yes? What are people supposed to do who can't see? Just be afraid of the dark their whole life? So I kind of trained myself when I get up, not always, but when I have to go somewhere and it's just dark and I don't really have a choice, I said, okay, now get the courage from blind people who have to do this all their life. And it's amazing on how you find that courage just thinking like that. Yes? Know that other people out there have no choice. Absolutely no choice. It doesn't matter if they have a flashlight with them or make a fire or they have no choice. Turn on the lights. They're always in the dark. And as I said, on how they wander through life is an amazing, amazing accomplishment in my eyes. So it's got to be, right for me with the point of view that God has, and it's got to be right with what I've learned from the Bible in the Old Testament and the New Testament. Right? So the royal family, okay, would that be true parents? Reverend Moon and his wife, Father Moon, Mother Moon, and then their children, which again, same problems there, like everyone else has, this, that. So, how do are we going to go now and be just like everyone else and look at everyone else's family and go, yeah, I see the problems there, and ignoring our own, right? Yes? Of course, if the most exemplary person is always what? Okay, we have reverends, priests, what else pastors. Those are supposed to be exemplary people with the Word of God, giving the Word of God. They're all teachers, right? So they should be exemplary, right? Not just do as I say, not as I do. Right? Yet there are some problems within all of these, whatever I just mentioned as well. Right? Yes? And so now we're going to go just ditch the whole everything? Right? Well, no. Yeah, you try to help. Right? You try to help. Right? Try to help raise a pastor as well, a priest. Right? The different religions, right? I personally, from studying them, I don't really see much wrong with the teachings per se. I mean, it just depends on how you want to understand it. Right? So again, should we raise the people around the world with their own teachings, or should we just right? Yes. So to me, this could mean one thing. Again, homage. The royal family. Okay, what does that even mean? Right? But when you support something, then I guess you're a part of also. Okay, restoration is needed. I find that if you're willing to do restoration in your own life, right? Say, okay, there's some things that aren't so good. How do I work that? How do I get that back on track? Then you're kind of automatically, it kind of ripples out to your family, to your community, then your nation, the world. It kind of does work that way, I think. Sometimes they're really, really small ripples. Right? Yes? That negativity makes so much more waves. I get it, but yeah. Anyway, the other thing too, it's even though Jesus was crowned the King of Kings, the King of the Jews, by whom? Right? And what was the crown that he was wearing? That had to hurt. So, not a very pleasant crown. And as far as I know, Jesus never considered himself a king. He was a teacher. He was 100% the teacher of the teachers, right? Yes? And considered himself not even the Son of God, but the Son of Man. Again, what does that tell us? Pretty amazing to me. Well, anyway, so there it is. No, not a big fan of kings. Mainly because there's so much destruction that goes with people who just proclaim themselves kings, this and that, right? Yes. Well, Father Moon declared himself the Messiah. Not really. It's actually it's in the Bible that Jesus says one will come in my footsteps, the second coming. It never said that he was coming back himself. People confuse that now with all kinds of different things. Well, I can't help that. The best thing is I can keep teaching from how much difference that made in my own life, in my family's life, really, when it comes down to it. All extended family, and still things that I don't think it can be done in one generation. So I'm hoping that my children will continue to have that heart for God. Well, we'll see, right? I'm leaving all these videos, huh? If they feel like they need to know more, they can go back to Mom's video. Anywho, so people can, noble. Why suddenly do people become noble and this, that, Or does that really matter so much? It means you have something extra to give. Well, then just give that, right? Yes, I love the fact that Jesus stayed humble the way he did, or just kept teaching, regardless of what people called him, wanted him to be. Some wanted him to be really exalted, and then others wanted to just kill him, which they were successful. And all Jesus wanted to do is just give the heart of God, teach the people. It's amazing on how his words have survived over 2,000 years, don't you think? I do. And still, but people want to make him into something more, right? Why? Does he need that? Do you need to be something higher, greater than others? Just because? Is it necessary? I don't know. I guess for some it is. Leave that mark or something. Hey, just a woman. What do I know? So we're in Genesis 37. But Jacob, so we know Esau left, but Jacob settled in the land where his father had stayed, the land of Canaan. I'm still kind of just basking in the just right way on how that went, where Esau said, I've got to go. There's not enough room for the both of us because we both have so much. So he left and went into the mountains, but it's actually much harder to live in a way. Right? I explained that yesterday in 36. And Jacob had just returned. Right? He'd been gone for so long. And Esau, in a way, understands I should let Jacob now stay in the land of our parents, where our father had settled. Yeah, right? And he stayed there. So he got to. I like it. I like the sharing. I like the unity that they had at the end there. So there it is. Now we're in the story of Joseph. Who doesn't know that story? That's one of the stories that's just real famous, right? The story of Joseph. This is the story of Joseph. Joseph was 17 years old. As he was young, he was shepherding the flock with his brothers, with the sons of his father's wives, Bilhah and Silpah, and Joseph brought his father bad reports about them. Oopsie. Uh-oh. Oh, why did he bring them? Oh, okay, bad reports. I bet they didn't like the tattletale. Well, I don't know how bad it was. Let's find out. Jacob loved Joseph more than all his other sons. See, this is again. How is that ever good for a child? When as a parent you let on, right, that you're the favorite. And then you have to grow up with them people around you, brothers and sisters, and I don't know what. So it's not a good thing for a parent to do that. That's how do parents not know that? Perfect the realm. What's it say exactly? The four great realms of heart. As a parent, you're definitely responsible for that. That's one realm. Yeah. Besides, what about Benjamin? Oh, he probably didn't like Benjamin that much because Benjamin was born and Rachel died. That's another thing. I've seen children who feel so it's their birthday and their mother's passing day. Right? Oh my gosh, this has to be so difficult for a child. And then the people around them, often. it's hard to, right? Not, really? How is that the child's fault? And why does a child suddenly have this burden? Huh? So again, okay, you know what? How about celebrating the child's birthday on earth and Mama's birthday in heaven? Really? That can't be done that way? Huh? It should be an absolute celebratory day, even more so. Right? The child should be even more so, right, praised on that day or celebrated on that day. Right? Not have this guilt feeling all their life. Right? For what? Something they had no control over? Again, how are people thinking out there? So wrong. It's just so doggone wrong. you know? Anyway, so if you have a child that mama had to give its life for it to be born, make sure you celebrate it in the most wonderful, loving way, and explain to the child it's your birthday on earth, but it's also mama's birthday, right? A new birthday in heaven. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful thing. Yeah. Anyway, there it is. One has to put one's own pain aside for the happiness of a child. Done. I feel dumb even having to say that. But anyway, so Jacob had a favorite one. Poof. What? Great old news. For he was the son of his old age, and he had a decorated tunic made for him. That's an interesting one, because I always thought it was Rachel. This is a new one here. I was surprised that Rachel actually did, because I thought it was Rachel who made the tunic for her son. But I guess not. It was actually Joseph. Oh, again. Our other Bibles, this is one of the more properly, as far as I know, read, translated Bibles. Well, anyway, as I said, people are going to write things down or switch it around a little bit or just however they want it, or does it make any difference? I guess not. I don't know. But his brothers, seeing how much more his father loved him than all his other sons, came to hate him so much that they could not say a civil word to him. Well, there you go. Damage done. Now Joseph had a dream, and he repeated it to his brothers, who then hated him more than ever. Listen, he said, to the dream I had. We were binding sheaves in the field, when my sheaf suddenly rose and stood upright, and then your sheaves gathered round and bowed to my sheaf. So you want to be king over us? Aha, his brothers retorted. You want to lord it over us. And they hated him even more, on account of his dreams and of what he said. He had another dream, which he recounted to his brothers. Look, I have had another dream, he said. There were the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowing down to me. He told his father and brothers, and his father scolded him. A fine dream to have, he said to him. Are all of us, then, myself, your mother, and your brothers, to come and bow to the ground before you? His brothers held it against him, but his father pondered the matter. So it seemed kind of clear, right, in all the other before, the lineage of Jacob's ancestors on who was kind of the next one to lead the tribe. I would say also in spiritual matters, when it came to continue to have the faith in God, this, that, right? Yes. And it seems like so far nobody's really in place for that. And Jacob's getting older as well, right? So in a way, right, it seems as if Jacob's not. Right? Why is Jacob getting the messages from God anymore? Right, and Joseph even has dreams where even his father is bowing down to him. Right? So does God already have to kind of work through Joseph? And again, what kind of difficulties is Joseph going through? Not just because of his brothers and sisters, maybe, and the other wives, but also with his father's preference for him. eh? And that had to be really difficult. And yet, it kind of laid a foundation for, so that's the other thing too. Joseph's not afraid, number one, to do the right thing. It says he goes and reports about them, what they're doing on the field, which I don't know, what were they doing? Stealing, not taking care of the flock, not doing the jobs they're supposed to, kind of just let Joseph do it all, or what, not doing not being a real productive part, right, in all of this. I don't know. It doesn't say. But it says he goes and he reports on them. So Joseph has a real, right, even though he probably doesn't, you're going to hate me even more, right? He does the right thing. There you go. Right? I don't know. Is that a sign to God? I think Joseph's going to be a real important part in my path of restoration, laying the lineage, right, to regain my people, mankind. Right? Yeah. Well, not could be. So he has these. Jacob pondered, but didn't do anything. Scolded him too. So the brothers, now the rest of them going, oh, father's not happy with that either. That gives an opening to what? More abuse. Absolutely more abuse. Yes. Joseph sold by his brothers. His brothers went to pasture their father's flock at Shechem. Then Israel said to Joseph, again, Israel is Jacob now, so they're still referred to him as Jacob, then Israel. Okay, it's right. Your brothers are with the flock at Shechem, aren't they? Come, I am going to send you to them. I'm ready, he replied. He said to him, go and see, I'm coming, Bob, how your brothers and the flock are doing, and bring me word. He sent him from the valley of Hebron, and Joseph arrived at Shechem. A man found him wandering in the countryside and asked him, what are you looking for? I am looking for any brothers, he replied. Please tell me. I'm looking for my brothers, he replied. Please tell me where they are pasturing their flock. The man answered, they have moved on from here. Indeed, I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. So Joseph went after his brothers and found them at Dothan. They saw him in the distance, and before he reached them, they made a plot to kill him. Some brothers they are. Right back to Cain and Abel, huh? Dear me, that's a so feel for God. Here comes that dreamer, they said to one another. Come on, let us kill him now and throw him down one of the storage wells. Oh, thank you. We can say that some wild animal has devoured him. Then we shall see what becomes of his dreams. When Bo comes home, he always has to tell us a story on what they did out there. And he's very verbal about them. But Reuben heard, and he saved him from their clutches. We must not take his life, he said. Shed no blood, said Reuben to them. Throw him down that well out in the desert, but do not kill him yourselves, intending to save him from them and to restore him to his father. So when Joseph reached his brothers, they pulled off his tunic, the decorated tunic which he was wearing, and catching hold of him, threw him into the well. The well was empty with no water in it. They then sat down to eat. Well, so Reuben, who's Reuben? I think Reuben is the oldest son of Leah, isn't it? Yeah, pretty sure that's right. So he had some, right? He can't go against all his brothers. They must have been a dangerous bunch, right? So Reuben even feared for his death, in a way, I guess. Instead of just saying, I'm the oldest one here. What are you guys, nuts? Absolutely, we're not going to do that, right? Was he afraid they would turn against him? A clique, a gang, right there, right? Oh, wow, look at this. Oh, Interesting. That came into being with those 12 sons. Wouldn't a father be absolutely proud of having 12 sons? What a thing to have. And here, look at them. Reuben, in a way, realizing they're probably going to turn on me next if try to actually teach them. You can't teach that. Are you crazy? So he says, no, let's not kill him. Let's just put him down in there, thinking in his mind, I'm going to go and rescue him after they have left and bring him back to father, right? Yes? So Reuben had a good heart, but he was scared. He feared his own brothers as well. Huh? Oh, how sad. And again, here we go, ganging up on one person, right? And the one that still has goes, no, not, what, crazy? Not doing that. We shouldn't do that. Comes up with another solution, but still was afraid, scared around that gang of brothers who were evil. That's just evil. You don't do that against another human being who has never done anything to you except for saying, I had these dreams. Right? Tell you what a mob is capable of. Yeah, well, we know that. We know what mobs are capable of, all around the world. Anywho, go lay down, Gus. That's really sad. Looking up, they saw a group of Ishmaelites. Oh, Ishmaelites. Okay, Ishmaelites then weren't. They were also part of the Ishmael. Where did Ishmael come in? We've read about Ishmael before. Who were coming from Gilead. Their camels laden with gum, tragakunt, balsam, and resin. I have no idea what that is. Which they were taking to Egypt. Then Judah said to his brothers, what do we gain by killing our brother and covering up his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites. Then we shall not have laid hands on him ourselves. After all, he's our brother and our own flesh. His brothers agreed. Okay, so here now is another brother who says, yeah, let's not kill him. It's a good thing they sat down to eat again. Okay, it's almost as if God's working and saying, I'm going to have to make sure that Joseph stays alive. How am I going to do that? Right? Yes? So the little bit of conscience they still carried around with them, God made use of. Right? That's a good thing. It's a good thing. Now some Midianite merchants were passing, and they pulled Joseph out of the well. They sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver, and these men took Joseph to Egypt. Now, where did the Midianites come in? I thought they were going to go and tell those other ones, the Ishmaelites. Now we got the Midianites involved as well. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, the story changes a little bit here and there. What do we actually know, really? But somehow Joseph ended up in Egypt, so that had to happen. They sold Joseph to the... Okay. When Reuben went back to the well, there was no sign of Joseph. Tearing his clothes, he went back to his brothers. The boy has gone, he said. What am I going to do? Reuben did go back. But didn't Reuben hear what Judah said? Oh, maybe the Midianites were again somehow a Midian that came in between there. God in a way realized, I've got to save this boy. I have to get him away from his own family. Yeah. They took Joseph's tunic and, slaughtering a goat, dipped the tunic in the blood. Then they sent off the decorated tunic and had it taken to their father with the message, this is what we have found. Do you recognize it as your son's tunic or not? He recognized it and cried, my son's tunic. A wild animal has devoured him. Joseph has been torn to pieces. Tearing his clothes and putting sackcloth round his waist, Jacob mourned his son for many days. You know, don't you think it's sad on how Joseph had no qualms, had not even a question about what it might have happened there. He just believed the story, right? Just believed it. Did he have any kind of relationship with his other sons at all? Maybe again, does that tell us something? That you shouldn't have that many wives? Shouldn't? Oh, should you not have that many children? I know of married couples that had many children, lots of them, and they weren't treated like that. There's a difference when all the children come from the same parents, same mama, same dad, right? I'm just saying, again. Just saying. But he was fine with the story, never even questioned it. I find that sad. Jacob mourned his son for many days. All his sons and daughters tried to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. No, he said, I will go down to Sheol in mourning and join my son. Thus his father wept for him. Meanwhile, the Midianites had sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's officials and commander of the guard. And that is the end of 37. Interesting. Blessing in disguise? Guess we'll find out. Most people know the story. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. I think this story tells us, okay, pledge number 3. Pledge number 3 is all about parenting, right? In all different realms. Huh? Yes? Yeah. In all different realms of also when you have great power. With great power comes what? Yes? Yeah? With great power comes what, Gus? Huh? Yeah. Parenting is important. I'd studied a lot about parenting when I became a mom for the first time. I studied about all kinds of different things. And whatever I came across seemed to work. Well, was not taught by my parents. Yeah, I was taught by my parents as well. And certain things I really loved, certain things I disagreed with. So, yeah. And so I kept learning. Am I a better parent than my parents were? That'd be a silly thing to say. Have I done some things differently? Absolutely. It says we try to perfect through what we've learned from our ancestors. Want to leave for our descendants to do even better. Right? We learn, and we strive for perfection. I was raised that you will never be perfect. Just gotta kind of keep it in line, right? Okay, with the religion, Catholic that I grew up, right? You can't be perfect. Right? We're sinners. We're always sinners. This, that. And I felt, yeah, but I can choose not to be a sinner. Can I not? I have that choice, don't I? Yes. So why do some want to keep people in a sinful way by letting them know, well, no, you can't be perfect. There's no way you can't be perfect. That's reserved for whom? Who is that reserved for? Right? And that's the one thing I like about number 3. Yeah? To perfect. To perfect what? Yeah? Perfect yourself. That's the last growth stage in life. Yeah? The perfection stage. Yeah, we can't do that. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to try. Am I perfect? No. Still have things to work on myself. But I try. I try really hard. I try really hard. But I try to instill that in other people as well. What I always say, everyone is born with a great talent and a great gift. I saw a little clip from 10 years ago. A little 3-year-old girl was supposedly had an IQ of 135, and I'm going, yeah, bet you not. I saw the girl, so she knew a few things, at 3 years old, and I'm going, my children knew that too. Oh, she's spoken, the words used this, that. I'm going, yeah, my son did that at 18 months. Started to talk in full sentences. Didn't really talk much before he did, but once he started talking, he was in full sentences. I've never heard him just say, no, never. Full sentences, right from the beginning. And that was that. And then I had one who wouldn't talk at all until kind of gave us I wanted to raise her bilingual. Didn't work. My oldest one, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. She realized that mom and dad did not speak the same language, or that one of them talked to her in one language, the other one in the other language, right? Since I was the one that was bilingual, not my husband. And she just quit talking. She quit. And suddenly I realized she wouldn't respond to English. She wouldn't respond to Swiss. She wouldn't. No. So I said, man, what happened? Yeah, no, this isn't working somehow. I don't know why it didn't work. I know that other parents teach their children multiple languages. And it wouldn't work with mine. It just didn't. So I started speaking English to her, and she immediately started talking. Immediately. That was that. Oh, mom and dad both talking the same language. I like that. What? So what? Was my child really smart? Saying, no, I'm not going to grow up like this. One language. Unified in the household. Whoa, okay. Yes? I don't know. So is that better? Well, my child thought so. So there it is. Right? Yes? All of my children have amazing talent of one sort of or another, and that's not just by being able to do something in the physical with material things. It's their talents are very much attached to their spiritual nature. Oh, do they have it all figured out? No, but it's definitely there, and I've been able to teach some to them about it, and it's really, you can tell my children as they get older and older as well as I am, they're blossoming, and you can tell, and I'm a very proud parent. Oh, everything always hunky-dory? But no. But that didn't stop me as a parent to continuously acknowledge what they were really good at, what their real talent, their gift is. Gifts. So, a 3-year-old, right? IQ of 135. Yeah, no. And you could tell. Okay, this is the parents. I've been told by people, that their child was going to the potty at 10 months old, 9 months old, 10 months old or something. Yeah, okay. No, no, the parents knew when to put the child on the potty somehow. Okay, so you were that in tune with the child, but as far as the child going by itself, yeah, I don't believe that. Okay, so who was trained? The parents, not the child. And so there it is. So yeah, parents, I guess, want to feel special when they have, I don't know, make a child special. But is that really truly going to be the happiness of that child? Looked at that little 3-year-old, and she had her tummy hurt. She needed to go to the bathroom, but they kept going with the interview. And I'm going, someone should have got up and said, okay, she needs to go. Okay, right, so where's the IQ of the people around her? Yeah, no wonder she has an IQ of 135. Yeah, so you get up, Mama gets up. They can still talk to Dad. Right? Mama gets up, so let's go to the bathroom. Right? So anyway, right? Yes? Yeah. Well, anywho. So she's no different than from any other child. When you get in the car, this was an interview, and they go the first 10 minutes into it. I got to go to the bathroom, right? Yes? Okay. She's just a 3-year-old. She's a little child. And what are they making her into? Well, anywho, just saying, right? Let children be children and watch them, see what their talents are. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that while they're watching TV all day long or playing games on there. Right? They've got to be out there doing things. Yes? Yeah, you got to be doing things with them. Yeah? See what they gravitate towards. Yes? Yeah? I'm just saying, that's a great way to know, in a way, where your child's happiness as an adult might lie as well, and where they can excel, right? Not just for themselves, but for others as well, right? Yes? Yeah. So, the purpose of life for us individuals is to bring God joy, right? Yes? That's on the vertical level. Then on the horizontal level, the purpose of life, the talents, the gifts that we have, are to bring joy to the people around us. Yes? Oh, it's a beautiful way to live. That's what I wanted to share today, right? Yes? Hey. Huh? Sibling problems. Hey, so terrible. But who started that? Who actually started that? Huh? Yes? Yeah? Well, anyway. So, there it is. Right? God's love and blessings always. May He protect you, and I will talk to you all on our next Bible reading. Or maybe before that. I mean, who knows what else I have to say.